get some reps too?
I would say that's really close too. Trayson has a big advantage of just knowing the offense better than McKay, and McKay gets better every day. McKay's a super athlete. And then unfortunately though, those two haven't had enough reps because we've invested so much in Gary and Jake. They haven't had enough reps for me to say definitively who's ahead there.
Where have Gary and Jake made the biggest progress from day one at camp?
Well, with Gary, it's just knowing our offense better. In spring ball, he was just learning it for the first time, and now he's starting to operate like a veteran. And with Jake, it's just, last year, just eliminating those critical mistakes. He's a playmaker. He moves the team, and we've been trying to just eliminate those critical errors, and he's done a good job of that. He's taken very good care of the ball in spring ball and through fall camp.
You noted a couple times in camp that the starter will emerge. You just see it on the field. The team
Yeah.
will know. What does that look like? Is that explosive plays? When will you know in practices?
Yeah, it's a combination of things. It's just someone who just moves the team and scores touchdowns, and I was hopeful that would be more clear than it is by now. But I think it's been a matter of both of them playing well, not that neither one of them has seized the day, seized the job. So we'll keep working our way through it a little bit longer.
So did you not expect to go this far into camp without having a guy clearly?
I hoped that it wouldn't, but I'm not surprised, and I've been through this before where it's been close like this. Zach and Jaron was a similar deal with those two. Had a similar deal with Zach and Tanner Mangum that one year. Then had a pretty close deal with Jaron and Baylor. So all of those went all the way up to game week.
On the scrimmage Saturday, did either of the starting quarterback candidates play better than the other, or how would you assess it?
We played a lot of snaps. We played over 100 snaps. I think it was like 120 snaps, including the special teams plays. But so much of it was situational that it's hard to say, one guy did better than another in one drill, another guy didn't, because we did like red zone, 2-minute. We did some drive-its up and down the field. A lot of it depends on which O-line you have in, because we pulled our starting O-line about halfway through. So I can't answer that really.
What's the running back depth chart looking like these days?
LJ looks great, looks really good, man. And Folau is playing really good. I think you're going to see those two guys a lot. And Miles Davis is a good player who you'll see, and Pokai he's a freshman. He's a good player too. I love all four of those guys, but it's nice seeing LJ and Folau. I feel like those two guys are. This is kind of their time,
You noted coming out of spring that Jake had a clean, no interceptions in spring. Does that still maintain itself in fall?
I think he's had one in fall camp. I can't remember. It's a lot more practices in fall camp, a lot more pass attempts, and I think it's one or two. Yeah, and he's done a good job taking care of the ball.
How they should form Gary and Jake in terms of stretching downfield and deep ball passes?
Sorry, I don't really want to answer that one just because for competitive advantage reasons. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Aaron.
When you look at the offensive line, how's that shaked out with the right guard spots? Have you got any clarity there with Leosa?
It's not final yet. Makasini and Leosa are competing there, and but I would say it's pretty clearly down to those two now. We had a couple other candidates that we thought might be in that mix. It's going to be one of those two guys.
And when it comes to the final decision at quarterback, does Kalani just give you that autonomy where it's your call, or do you have to go to Kalani and give that final sign off?
I'll run it through him. He's pretty great about giving, trusting his coaches to do their jobs, and that goes for everybody. He trusts all the coaches to play who they think is best for the job, but I will definitely be talking to him. We talk about it every single day, and I'll talk to him. I'll talk to Jay Hill. I'll talk to Fessy, my whole staff on offense. I'll gather information from everyone, but yeah, the ultimate decision will be on my shoulders, and I'm good with that. I'm used to this.
Are you seeing this team still unified, regardless of who the guy is?
Yeah. This is a really close team. This is we haven't won a game yet, but I feel like we have a close-knit group here, definitely more so than we had a year ago.
On the offensive line,
there going back to that. How deep do you feel comfortable, I guess, playing with this rotation? Not even necessarily like names and whatnot, but how many guys do you feel like you've got kind of in that top rotating group?
Well, we have I would say probably, I might forget somebody, but about 8. We have about 8 guys, which is good. 8's a lot. We have 6 that we feel really good about right now, and 2 more that I think are really coming along. And I might be forgetting someone, but we'll be okay there. That group is, I think they're pretty determined to play well this year.
I think that's about where you've been the last several years, that 7, 8, 9 range.
Yeah.
As far as the tight end room, Keanu, Ethan Erickson, Reiner Swanson, how's that room coming along?
Good. Tava's a good player. He's really doing a good job. Yeah, Keanu, Tava, and Ethan have all been playing really well. Reiner is a super athlete, and we're bringing him along. Who am I forgetting there? Ray Paulo, he's doing a good job, and Mason Fakahua is doing a good job. So those guys, and all those guys, that whole group right there you just heard about, will be involved this year. They'll all be involved in various ways.
Have you got introduced the offense to Southern Illinois' defense at all yet, or is that going to be later this week?
We did it for the first time today. It was just a 10-minute period, but yeah, for the first time today.
Any other questions?
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You guys don't need to ask me anything now, right? All right. What questions do we have? Fire away.
We get one here. Can you tell us about the running back situation? He said LJ and Hinkley are looking really good.
Yep, LJ and Hinkley looking really good. Miles is there as well. Sione Moa, Pokai, Honga has done some good things, and Enoch Nawahina is going to be back soon. So we feel good about that group, and I think Harvey's done a great job coaching them. I know Harvey and Coach Woods are working really carefully on, and specifically on the run game. So I think they're in sync, and it looks like it's getting better every day. So I'm really happy with the way Harvey's coaching those guys.
Does it concern you at all that a quarterback hasn't emerged as the clear-cut number one?
No, I feel like we have 2 quarterbacks that have emerged, so that's a different feel for me. So like I truly feel comfortable with either one playing on the field and winning games for us. So it's just as we go through the process of the quarterback battle, we've been through this before, and we'll just keep. I mean, you guys talked to A-Rod, so the closer we get, I'm pretty sure the closer we get to the game, the more likely we'll have a starter name.
What's been the biggest growth from Jake from last year? And I asked him because we saw him last year. Where have you seen the biggest growth in camp?
I think being comfortable with the playbook and understanding all the checks. I think when he played, it was kind of just thrown into it, and a lot of the reps went to Keaton, and now he's getting those reps and he's splitting it with Gary. So I think he's getting the benefit of being in the system. Even last year, he was kind of a little banged up and wasn't completely healthy during the off season, and so having him being healthy and just kind of being through it already. This isn't his first fall camp, so I think he's being a lot more comfortable with the playbook, with the offense, with his role, and I think it's just an easy transition for him being here and ran a similar offense, but that was run by Jeff Grimes, and so I think those guys have a lot of they're very familiar with the offense, and I think it's working really well for us in the fall camp.
You've noted a couple times that you've been through this before with quarterback battles. Some of your best teams have been in seasons where you had a fall camp quarterback battle. What is it you feel like the components that bring a team together through a quarterback battle that has kind of been a successful thing for you guys in the past? Yeah,
I think when all the quarterbacks have success, it's a great motivator, but when they're also competing against each other, and when they have this a really cool culture in there of helping each other, I know that Gary and Jake are competing for the starting spot, but they're also helping each other and coaching each other. So that's a good sign, and that's really who they are as people. So I think we have the benefit of having great young men compete for those spots, and the team responds the right way to those guys. So we feel really good about the way that they've competed and the progress we've seen from practice 1 to now, and especially after the scrimmage, I think we're in a really good spot right now.
What are some other position battles that haven't been maybe tightened up yet? As you get closer to game?
Probably safety. I think the linebacker would be more of the rotation on what we're going to do, and then some of the corners as well. I think we have a lot of players that can play. It's just a matter of who's going to be in the rotation and different packages. D-line, I think we kind of have an idea of what we're doing with the front. And then on the offensive side, it's obviously the right guard position. I feel like there's two really good candidates there, and tight end. It's always just because there's so many capable bodies there. We've been able to use quite a few tight ends in rotation, but I know Coach Gilbride and A-Rod will have that figured out. But it's just not. We're not looking for talent now. We have it here. It's been developed, and we've added some new pieces. So the competition's at all different places, and the depth is going to show. And I think it's going to be helpful for us this year.
Do you feel like you go too deep on starter caliber players at most positions this season? I mean,
I think most teams do that. I think most teams in a power conference would need to have. We talk about 11 starters, your best 11. You really need your best 22 or 23 with the nickel packages and stuff. So. We didn't have that enough last year. And then when the injury bug hits, then you need your threes to be able to step in and not have a big drop-off from 1 to 3. And so I think we're closer now than we've ever been, and I like our depth. But, again, it's we got to get out there and see how they perform when the lights are on, and that's going to be exciting to see in Game 1.
I wanted to ask, too, about the scrimmage. How many plays and how do you –
Yeah.
What do you think what came out on top?
Ran 120 plays, 70 live, 50 at thud tempo, and then 30 snaps of special teams. So overall, over 150 snaps. And it was a long day. Guys' legs, we tested them and kind of put them through a little bit of a – it was aggressive from our end, but we trust our sports scientists to put him in this position 2 weeks out, and I came out of it pretty good. I think we're looking at the team's tired, their legs are sore and tired, but they don't need to feel good now. They need to feel good by the time we get to the game, and I think we got a good workout today. We're going to get these guys ready, and there's a plan that's been in place for months now, and so I think we're following it, and it's all the metrics are telling us that we're doing the right things.
Coach, how do you feel that your coordinators have adjusted to using headsets rather than calling signs down to people on the field?
Yeah, we're still doing the signs because you only get one player that has the headphones in there, but I think they're doing a good job with it. It's technology. The biggest adjustment is the tablets on the sideline and in practice, and so you'll see our players come off and then they'll look at the tablets, and being able to get that immediate feedback is going to be very helpful for them. And sometimes even in the game, when you want them to see it, they can actually see it in real time. So that's going to be a huge advantage for us, and for everyone's going to be able to see that. But it kind of fits in line with this generation how they learn. They're more visual learners, so there we go.
You talk about wanting to develop depth at a powerful level. Is there really the only way to learn that is in game when you see those guys have to step up in those circumstances?
Well, or guys that have played in games, and for us, it's guys that are used to our system, used to our playbook. I think when you look at offense and defense, we put so much already out there and we put it on film. Now we've got to start deciding on what we're going to do, the game plan for week 1, and then how that will carry over to week 2 and week 3 and week 4. And so now as we start putting that plan together, we can kind of hone in on a little bit on what these guys right now they've learned everything. So it's an open playbook. When we did our scrimmage, you're going from play that we did in day 1 install to play 7, practice number 7 install, and these guys have to be fresh on all of it. And they did a great job in terms of the assignment, the alignments, and the technique. So the grades are really good. Now it's like, okay, let's start to narrow it down and see what we're good at, and then let these guys play fast. And when we were able to do that and have a plan, I think that's the goal for today and tomorrow is get to that plan soon.
You bring up fast. Would the players like the playing surface at LES, the new grass?
Awesome. Yeah.
What were your initial impressions?
Yeah, and I'm glad you asked that. It rained, and so we wanted to get a good feel for it. We were worried that if we stepped on it with it being wet, but the fields people said, "Hey, come and let's test it out," and the field held together really nicely. I was jealous. I wish I could play on that. It was awesome, but Stadium Fire must have done some good things to aerate the grass. I have no idea, but it was cool, and the guys appreciate it. We appreciate all the hard work that goes into having that surface ready for us, and it was really nice on Saturday, and we're looking forward to playing on it when it goes live.
I wanted to ask you about TJ Woods and Kevin. You've had him here during the spring and everything. How did you get towards the end of your first full fall camp with them? They fit in. What's been your impressions of those two work with the new units?
Yeah, I think the best thing I can say is that sometimes you can see when a coach is doing their job is they're allowing the best players, and the best players are becoming better. You get a great coach when you look at the weakest link in the position, and they're getting better. So it's not just the top players are getting better. The whole entire room, the O-line, are getting better. Same thing with tight ends, and I appreciate those guys and the hard work and being able to specialize it for each individual, and then giving them goals and their expectations to meet them. And I've never seen these guys play at this high level, and that's a huge. That's a part of that is the leadership and their experience, but also, TJ Woods as a coach, and same thing with Kevin Gilbride. So we're fortunate. Let's just put it all together and make this work and put some points on the board.
Lonnie, sorry if you've been asked, but philosophically, are you opposed to playing two quarterbacks in the opener?
No, I mean I
like rotating?
Yeah, I mean I'm not opposed to it, but I think that you have a competition for a reason, and we feel really good about the two quarterbacks. We feel good about the entire room, but I know I trust those two especially to go win games for us, and so we're going to continue with the competition and then make decisions from there. But I think A-Rod and I are working closely with the staff, and I know Jay's involved with it too. So this is a team decision. What I like is that both quarterbacks have played at a high level, and I feel good about both of them. So that's a good sign. And unfortunately, the game is a tough game where I don't know all the stats, but this is a violent sport, and quarterbacks sometimes get banged up, and so. I don't know how many quarterbacks can last the entire season, but it's good to have a number of quarterbacks. We have 5 really good quarterbacks that I love on our team, and we feel like we can win with a majority of them.
Concerning your coaching staff, have you designated which of your coaches will be in the booth and on the field?
I'm kind of playing around with that a little bit. Yeah, I think the now that we're on the sideline, have the tablets, it's probably a little bit better for us to get a viewpoint on terms of for the offensive coordinator to see it. I think A-Rod will be up there, and then defensively, I think Jay's going to have to figure out who he wants in the mix of who he wants up top. But you're able to see stuff with the tablets now that more the press box is more of a real time adjustments and information that you can get from them right away. So that's a good question. We're still kind of figuring it out. We had 2 opportunities to go in the stadium and figure that out, but we'll be able to do that again tomorrow, and maybe figure it out. By game time, we'll have people in both. So sometimes I feel like going up there, especially when it's cold. Yeah, I just want to know what sandwiches and cocoa up there would be nice.
When do you turn the page completely to Southern Illinois?
Yeah, we're making that transition. Yeah, the guys are sick of playing against each other, but that's just part of it. We're starting to do some scout work. Really good team, and I know some of the coaches on that staff, so they're a well-coached team, and they've had success playing against FBS teams, and so we need to make sure that we're ready for it, and all part of that is making sure that we're prepped and that we have a plan going into it. So well-coached team. I think we have a really well-coached team as well, so we'll just put it all together and have some fun. The football season's here, so you got all the NFL preseason games, and I believe there's games that start this week, right? So are there? Brett? Yeah. Okay, yeah, so it's going to be kind of fun, so it's right around the corner, and for us it's less than 2 weeks, so I'm super excited.
Big picture wise,
Last question.
Where do you feel like this team has grown the most over the last couple of weeks of training camp and maybe through the offseason in general?
Super close team. I think there's adversity does something to you, and so these guys believe in each other, and they've bonded really closely, and so I think I'm really proud of this team. I'm proud of the camaraderie and the connection, the love they have for each other. The way that they work and teach each other, and so it's going to be a lot of fun this year to see them get out and play. All right, guys. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Coach.
2 minute, 2 minute timeout.
We're good.
Thanks.
So I don't talk to you guys till
Monday.
Zoom.
Well,
Yeah.
Monday
at
we'll
noon.
start our week stuff. Yeah.
Awesome.
Do you miss COVID Zooms?
Huh?
Do you miss COVID Zoom press
Only
conferences?
on Sundays. Where I can wear shorts and wear a tie, a clip-on with a coat.
Hey man,
Yeah.
I respect that. Much respect.
I can't be the only one.
That's the game.
All right, here's Cody.
Love you too. Shade.
Thank you.
Late
Sorry
hands.
for the.
I
Sorry
like
for
the
the
late hands.
Sorry for the.
Yeah, the dancing's 15-yarder, but
Sorry, Coach.
I thought only the Nakuas could do that.
Sorry.
Cody, what were your takeaways from the scrimmage the other night as far as the offense is concerned?
Everybody's excited to play. Everybody gave 100% effort. We focused from the last scrimmage that we had before that one on the small little details of it, and I think we came out and executed a lot of those small details. Now there's a bunch of stuff that we can learn from and move forward with and grow from. But from my perspective, just being a chess piece on the chessboard, I feel like myself and my teammates did a phenomenal job bringing effort, bringing energy, and making plays when our name went called.
Any unit get the upper hand, offense or defense?
We gotta ask A-Rod or Coach Hill that. I don't know.
The savvy vet.
Bagnall said the defense did. But.
Yeah, he's not the savvy vet, I guess.
What do you think of the playing surface compared to last year, where you guys were slipping a lot of the new grass? Did you guys play fast on anything?
I guess that's a question for the groundskeeper at the stadium.
Okay.
True. It was good. I mean, I didn't really tell the difference. I was just doing what I could, but yeah, it was fun. Blessed for the new stadium grass.
Bonnie said it rained a little bit though. It held up pretty well.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Is this the first time you felt like completely 100% healthy since you've arrived? I mean, I'm sure there's been fleeting moments, but how do you feel health-wise?
I just had my first practice 15 in fall camp in the past 5 years, so. I'm beyond grateful. I'm beyond grateful for this opportunity to have the fall camp that I did, to be able to come out here and give my all, push my teammates. I'm so blessed for the strength coaches, the way that they've applied and acclimated themselves into our lives, whether that's with sleep, hydration, tracking our steps, all that type of stuff. So I'm so blessed, and I owe a bunch of that to them, and then myself putting the work that I put in this offseason and buying into the culture and what they wanted to set. So I'm thankful.
What's the dynamic between Gary and Jake like from your perspective as a wide receiver?
It's kind of funny because you watch a bunch of high school football movies and movies in general when it comes to dudes competing for a spot. I don't see any contention. I don't see anyone shying away from the opportunity to both be leaders. Both have a voice on this football team, and neither of them have made it a push or pull when it comes to the attitude as being a leader for this team. Both of them have come together, and we have a great group that's rallied around both guys. And I'm so excited for whoever that guy is that we called to be the starter day one, and I'm so excited for all the quarterbacks too when they get the opportunity. So it's good to see them. It's good to see the competition, quote unquote. But I'm blessed to have both of those dudes, and there hasn't been any contention or anything like that.
Are you comfortable catching passes from both of those guys? Because we've seen them go back and forth with the ones and the twos, so I'm sure you've seen both of them caught passes from both, I guess.
Yeah, super comfortable. I talk about this all the time. I just want to do my best to do my 111, whether that's blocking, catching the ball, whatever I have to do in the offense. And I only look at them for a split second anyway when I turn and look to see who the quarterback is. For the majority of the time, I'm looking at the ball. And then I'm looking at the signalers to see what the play call is. So half the time, I don't know who's in. I just know I'm in. So, yeah.
As a receiver, would you prefer to have one guy or rotating during the game?
Whatever my offensive coordinator prefers, that's what I prefer.
You're like Mr. PC.
How would you describe the wide receiver competition? This is a deep group, talented.
Yeah.
Everyone has unique skill sets as well.
Yeah.
How do you fit into that puzzle, and who would you like to highlight from that group that's competing?
Every single one of them. Every single one of them. I feel like everyone has done a phenomenal job competing, doing their job, doing their, like I said, 111th. And then I've had a bunch of fun, man. I made a bunch of plays. I'm so excited for blocking in the run game, being there for those third down opportunities, and just being a helping hand wherever Coach A-Rod and Coach Vesey need me. I don't think there has really been a competition. I think everybody has come and been super cohesive and working together and building a brand of a group that anytime that we're called on, no matter who's in that group, they're going to make the play. So I'm so excited for them. I'm so excited for myself to go out that first game and throughout the season and just make plays.
Can you describe during practice and in the scrimmage how you guys are using the tablets?
It's kind of weird for me because I haven't used them in 4 years, but in high school, I used to use them all the time. You come back to the sideline immediately and you use the tablet, so I haven't even really used them. Like I made a good catch today, and one of the dudes said, "You want to look at it?" I'm like, "Nah, you can keep the tablet." Like I really don't even, I'm not even acclimated enough with the tablets again. But I'm super excited for that opportunity when season comes, because there's a bunch of stuff that you don't really get to see. You just have to feel, and then recall on your memory what the coverage was, what the look was. So to be able to have those tablets and talk with your coaches, with your quarterbacks, with your O-line, running backs, and all be on the same page to see what we saw is going to be exciting. I'm excited for that.
A theme in camp has been, from coaches and players, is the closeness of this group.
Mm-hmm.
From your perspective, what's kind of bringing that closeness together? Is game week is a week away?
I think this year we got a bunch of dudes come back that joined the team from the transfer portal last year. So having a bunch of those guys who are super mature, having those guys for another year around the sun, is definitely a big help to that, because we are able to gel together and everybody knows each other's personalities. And then the way that we trained in the weight room, we had to count on each other a lot to pick each other up. Dudes were fully depleted of everything, every ounce of energy that they had, and you had to look to your left and your right. And in those moments, you truly find out each and every one of those dudes in that locker room is your brother. And then the team activities Coach Kalani and the coaches put together definitely allow us to have fun and allow us to be free kind of from football and just out here grinding all day. So get out and go. Those opportunities have definitely helped us gel together.
What kind of energy does Hinckley Rapati bring to this? I mean, this offense, he seems like he always has a smile on his face. He loves this game. He developed a new appreciation being out for so long. What does he bring to this offense?
I think Hinckley brings a sense of comfort. He's never down. I've never seen Hinckley down at all. And anytime that you're down, or anytime that you're focused and locked in on something that you might have messed up on, or you're overanalyzing, I think anytime that I've ever looked at him, there's a sense of comfort knowing that there's a guy that's smiling and that's going to ask you what's the problem. He's going to talk you through it, and he's going to be right by your side each and every step of the way. So having him on the team and just being around him, he's a California guy too. So as soon as he got here, we connected on just being from California as well. So just having him, man, I love that dude to death. And I'm so grateful and honored to be on the same team with him as well.
Can you describe your touchdown in the red zone work at the end of practice?
It was fun. I had a big opportunity. I made a play. It was super fun.
Part of the defensive backs, they've been giving you good looks.
Yeah.
Who do you typically go up against from your slot receiver? I know you play some outside as well, but who
Yeah.
are you typically going up against?
I've spent a lot of time this fall camp going against Mike Harper. I think he's a phenomenal ball player. I think ball player is the best kind of description you could give for a dude like Micah. He just finds the ball. He knows how to play. He's super instinctual. He's super physical. So that's what I wanted to work on this offseason, being a lot more stout in my routes and my blocking. So being able to go against a dude like that each and every day has definitely helped me up until this point.
How difficult is he to stock block?
He could be. That dude can clean a lot and he could squat a lot. So he can come with some force. So you got to make sure that you ain't not too far on your toes, not too far on your heels. So yeah.
Thanks, Cody.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much. If I wasn't a BYU football player under my coaches, I would answer a lot of those questions.
It's the right answer.